winner of the New Jersey Press Association's Most Innovative Award.
Welcome to another edition of Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Shea, bringing you the top headlines in Central New Jersey. Here are some of the stories we're covering this week. Real estate market warms up. Middlesex County gets a new treasurer. Controversy in Cheesequake State Park. An update on Sandy Hook. And Central Jersey brings the pie. The Garden State may be enduring a cold and snowy winter, but local realtors say the climate is hot for those who want to sell their homes. The weather woes have helped to create a lack of inventory on the real estate front, with new listings down nearly 24% in January over the same month last year. This has resulted in more bids on homes and favorable prices for sellers. And with attractive interest rates for buyers, the local real estate market has been on the upswing over the past year. Middlesex and Ocean counties have seen single-family home sales increase by more than 20%, while sales in Monmouth County have risen 13%. For more on the local real estate market, see this week's editions of Greater Media Newspapers. And here's Mark Rossman with more headlines from this week.
The Township Committee in Freehold Township and the Borough Council in Freehold Borough recently paid tribute to Thomas Hartman Sr., who has been a member of the Freehold First Aid and Emergency Squad for 50 years. Mr. Hartman also had a career as a teacher in the Freehold Regional High School District and coached several sports. His public service goes back to the 1960s when he joined the squad as a cadet. In 1986, while working as a police sergeant in Colts Neck, he helped rescue a 22-month-old child who had fallen into a hole in the ground. He's had a very varied career in public service, and you'll read about it in an article in this week's news transcript.
And here's a roundup of headlines from this week's papers. Middlesex County has a new treasurer and chief financial officer. Joe Pariti served in the county finance department for 15 years, and he plans on helping the county retain its AAA bond rating. Both Middlesex County College and Ocean Community College were ranked in the top 150 of their kind by the Aspen Institute. They were selected for more than 1,000 community colleges throughout the country. Middlesex County's Metuchen is known for its tree-lined streets and quaint storefronts, but residents have started a grassroots campaign in an effort to improve the downtown area. You can check out their Facebook page called Take Back Metuchen's Main Street and maybe find ways to improve your local downtown. How do you celebrate Albert Einstein's birthday? Not with cake, but with pie. Princeton will hold a 3-day celebration on March 14th in honor of both the renowned scientist's birthday and the well-known mathematical number. To see how you can join in the fun, see this week's editions of Greater Media Newspapers. Females make up the minority when it comes to coaching, and that has some people talking. Here's Jennifer Amato.
Females are still at a disadvantage when it comes to the sports world. More than 40 years after Congress passed a mandate for women in high school and college to be given equal opportunities in and on the athletic field, men still outnumber women when it comes to coaching and sports administration jobs. In an effort to improve the male-to-female ratio, National Girls and Women in Sports Day was commemorated on February 26th at Monmouth University to celebrate the achievements and accomplishments of women in the field. To read the stories of women who are empowered to make a change, see your local Greater Media newspaper.
A popular beachfront attraction is coming back. Here's Greg Kennelty with more on Donovan's Reef.
Much like the resilient residents of Seabright, Donovan's Reef will be making an effort to open its doors by April for its 38th year of business. The new bar will include a main enclosed building, an outdoor treehouse-themed bar, and a beach tiki bar. Co-owner of the bar, Bob Phillips, expects all but the enclosed building to be open by April of this year. For more information, see your local Greater Media newspaper.
And here's Bruce Johnson of Greater Media's WCTC with an update on Rutgers sports. After that, we have Tim Morris with more on the local sports scene.
Ever since 1996, with the exception of a couple of years when the Rutgers men's basketball team didn't qualify, Scarlet Knight fans would wait all season long for the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden, annually one of the greatest sporting events in the nation. They would jump on the train or take the car into Manhattan to watch their beloved RU teams take on the likes of Connecticut, Syracuse, Villanova, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, St. John's, Georgetown, Providence, West Virginia, Cincinnati, Boston College, and of course arch rival Seton Hall. But now the Big East as we knew it is gone. A watered-down version of the new Big East tournament will be held at the Garden, while Rutgers, in its lame duck season in the American Athletic Conference, will be heading down to Memphis, Tennessee to begin play in the AAC tournament on March 12th. Unless you have a lot of money and a lot of free time on your hands, not many RU fans will be heading down to FedEx Forum to watch the Knights, and probably not many even care that the tournament will be going on. Most already have the AAC in their rearview mirror, concentrating now on the big move into the Big Ten next season. Yes, it'll be a strange version of March Madness for Rutgers and its fans. Call it March Malaise. I'm Bruce Johnson on 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com.
March isn't just a special month for college basketball. It is an equally important time for high school Cagers. This is the month that state championships are decided, and the first steps of the state sectional tournaments that begin this week. Teams from the Freehold Regional High School District dominate the NJSIAA Central Jersey Group 4 girls bracket. Freehold Township, Marlboro, and Colts Neck are the top 3 seeds in the section, with Manalapan 14th and Freehold 15th also in the mix. The road to the final would seem to go through the district this year. Freehold Township in light blue and Colts Neck wearing white were 2 of the hottest teams heading into the state tournament. They met twice during the regular season. Freehold Township relies on center Victoria Wagner here, scoring 2 in the paint, for her inside scoring as well as her defense, which triggers the Patriots' running game. Sam Famulari, number 23, has become more than a set shooter, adding slashing moves like this to the basket to her repertoire. Of course, she remains one of the best long-range shooters around. Point guard Katie Healy, number 2, is the player in charge of conducting the Colts Neck Cougar offense. She has an uncanny ability to find the open shooter at all times. Lindsey Boslin, here shooting a free throw, has been the team's most consistent scorer. Tim Morris, Greater Media Newspapers.
And here's Keith Hugh Miller on what's happening in Sandy Hook.
An advisory panel guiding the redevelopment of Sandy Hook's historic Fort Hancock says it will consider proposals from master developers as well as individuals, sparking some concerns that local residents may be edged out of the process. The 21st Century Fort Hancock Advisory Committee is currently preparing to issue a request for proposals for the 120-year-old military fort, where more than 30 historic buildings are on the market for revitalization. A number of residents, businesses, and local nonprofits have expressed interest in the buildings, suggesting homes, cafes, art academies, and a broad range of other uses. When the RFP goes out in the coming months, however, the committee says it wants to elicit as broad a range of interest as possible. Proposals will be accepted from master developers that would manage most of the redevelopment process and sublease buildings to other applicants. In this week's Hub, Atlanticville, and Independent newspapers, we speak to one local applicant who says individuals stand no chance of competing against large developers in the application process, and that he would not want to sublease from anyone but the government. We also talked to National Park Service Superintendent Jennifer Nersesian, who says generating new interest in all of Sandy Hook is crucial to protect its assets for future generations.
There is a bit of controversy surrounding Cheesequake State Park this winter, and here's Tom Castles with the details.
Cheesequake State Park in Old Bridge is facing environmental issues from all angles. The park's deer population is thick enough to present a legitimate environmental threat to park woodlands, according to park naturalist Jim Fazak, who said that deer are so numerous they're destroying plant life from the ground to 4 feet up. With approval from the State Department of Environmental Protection, Park Superintendent Dave Donnelly initiated the 3rd annual deer management program to curtail the deer population. 65 hunters crept through the woods from September to February, taking out 40 deer in the process, which adds up to approximately 35% of the park's deer population. While the program drew concerns from some, Fazak said without it, the heavily wooded park would be nothing more than a meadow in a few decades. While lovers of the outdoors enjoyed the hunt, Fishers were disconcerted to find that Hooks Creek Lake, a popular freshwater fishing and swimming spot within the park, was inundated with salt water during Superstorm Sandy in October 2012. All the freshwater fish species, that includes bass, catfish, trout, and sunnies, were killed when salt water flooded the lake. According to FASAC, the lake could take as long as 25 years to revert back to freshwater naturally. According to Greg Rameau, Deputy Director of the New York and New Jersey Baykeeper, the lake could remain salty forever. But according to DEP spokesman Larry Haina, the lake could be open for freshwater fishing as soon as next spring. Fishermen will just have to wait and see.
For more in-depth coverage and additional stories, see this week's editions of Greater Media newspapers. Join in the conversation at facebook.com/Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Shia. Thanks for tuning in.